Well, hey again. Welcome back to Life You Imagined. My name is Nico. Today we're going to be looking at the book, The Miracle Morning. So, what is The Miracle Morning? It's a book it's a small book, all about creating a morning routine, and his main focus about this is, see there, before 8 a.m., and there's another sentence before that, which I choose not to read because it offends me greatly. His big focus here is about doing something and doing these types of things in your life early. So it's something that I think a lot of people wouldn't want to do, which he talks about waking up at 5 a.m. to try to get all these things done before you even get into your work day and starting your day, and there's definitely a lot to be said about that. So I chose this book specifically because I knew that having a morning routine was something that was very common for a lot of people who are very productive and who are entrepreneurs and who are creative types, and it seems to be very helpful for them. And I've noticed that I often feel a little bit better when I have a morning routine that works for me, when I allow it to work for me and don't overload it with a million needy, perfectionistic things that I tend to do. So I got this book to help me with that situation. And I guess the question is, did it actually help me? Did I get anything out of it, even though I've been doing morning routines for a while? Yes, I did. There are some things I got out of this. He has a little acronym he likes to use in here because, as I say in the written review too, it seems like anyone who writes a business book or a self-help book has to come up with this thing. They have to have their own little thing. Sometimes it's an acronym of a little series of their steps to follow, and has to be cute and memorable. Apparently, otherwise you won't sell a book if you don't have one of these things. So he has one of those things, and he calls them time savers. Those are periods. No, not those kind. Different grammatical ones. Less cleanup. Now, well, that was inappropriate. What? Why'd you say that? Jeez, what's wrong with you, man? This is about a book. It's not about menstrual cycles. What do you know? You haven't read it. Maybe it is about menstrual cycles. This is all on the cutting room floor. So yeah, he has this acronym, Time Savers, which he freely admits that he had to stretch some of these words to fit that acronym so he could get the last S. And I'll get to that in a second. But so what do these letters stand for in savers? Because I'm sure you're dying to know. S is for silence, but what he means by that is like meditating and having time to, be in quiet and to think and reflect and, that kind of thing. Or apparently prayer, which makes sense. It's a good thing to be able to do, to have that moment of silence and meditation and quietness to settle the mind, settle the body. I agree with that. A is for affirmation, which I'm much more skeptical about because I've heard mixed things about the power of these affirmation things, especially when it's done in a way a lot of these books will present you with, hey, keep talking to yourself about the things that you want to be or that you want to believe, even if you don't believe them, and just say them like they're a fact. And I go, I'm not sure if that really works. Luckily, he does it in this book in a way that didn't have me as full guard dog skeptic mode, where I'm like attacking the book. I'm like, there's no scientific evidence for this. I have jowls now. Also, I'm not a crook. He at least says it in a way that seems more practical. So I was okay with it the way he talked about it. It was more about like saying your goals out loud, reconnecting with what you're trying to achieve and what you want. And I go, okay, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. I like that. I like reconnecting with your goals on a daily basis because it's easy to sometimes take things for granted or forget what we're doing. So that I liked, the way he talked about it. V in Savers is for visualization. Another one where I'm kind of like, I don't know about that. Trying to picture yourself doing the goals that you just talked about, in that situation, doing whatever it is that you feel like you want to be doing and really fully picturing that. Kind of sounds like a neuro-linguistic programming thing, but I'm not sure. As I said, I'm kind of like, I don't know about that one. For me, jury's still out. I would like to read more things. I've seen some positive studies about visualization, but I've seen some ones that kind of refute those things. So, not sure yet. E, exercise. Totally agree. I always feel better when I start the day by doing something physical, getting my body totally woke, bro. Getting my body awake and my heart pumping and breaking a little bit of a sweat. Not too much, because I don't like to spend too much energy right away at the early part of the day when I need that usually for mental work. But doing a little bit just to kind of wake me up and put me in a more motivated state, I think that's a great thing, and I definitely recommend that to a lot of people. It doesn't have to be anything intense either. It could be running in place for a while, just to get your heart rate up, and you'll generally feel more awake, you'll feel more active, at least works for me. R, reading. He recommends starting the day with reading a little bit of something that's motivational or inspiring or helps you work toward a goal or grow or learn something, which again, totally agree with. I don't know if you know this, but I like to read the occasional book. Boo! Apparently that was an ego moment for me. It's important for me to point out the fact that I have books and read books, because apparently that makes me good? Cool? I don't know. Is it cool to read? It doesn't really seem like it. It seems like a nerdy thing to do. So why am I trying to make sure, like, yeah, I read a lot of books, right? I got these new bookshelves. What do you think? You can't even see. The books go all the way down. Apparently insecurity, huh? Stupid humaning. But yeah, I also recommend, starting your day by reading even just a few pages. You don't have to be powering through chapters or full books in a day or anything like that. I don't do that either. But just to read a little bit, and he recommends generally self-improvement stuff. What a shock, so do I. So you're always learning and you're always growing and working toward things. Helps to start your day off mentally that you feel more inspired. Good, I like that. And the last one, the one where he really had to fudge the word to get it to make savers with the S, is scribing. Yes, that's right. He means writing and journaling. That's what he means by that. Again, as you can see, a bit of a stretch, but he pointed it out and laughed at himself for having to do that. So I can't really give him any shit. I just brought it up because I agreed with him. That's a stretch. This was more about just kind of brain dumping and getting the thoughts and feelings out of your head and into some form of something you could review later, or any ideas you might have, any questions. Helps you work through some stuff. It helps you kind of see your progress. There's a lot of nice things about journaling. I've been doing it myself for a while too. I just need to implement some sort of review process in it, which I haven't been doing. But I do like the process of just kind of getting shit out of my head in the morning and talking about what I'm doing, how I feel, that kind of stuff. I think that's helpful. So overall, there's a lot of nice things in here. He also tells his own personal story in this, which I appreciate. He opens up the whole thing about how he even came to be working on this miracle morning routine idea. So apparently he'd been through some decent hardships, which is, I like that. Not that he's, it's not like a schadenfreude thing where I want to see him suffer. It's just that sometimes a lot of these authors feel like they're like a robot. Have you ever seen that or felt that way before? Because I definitely have. They just feel like they've never experienced depression or anxiety or low self-worth or self-doubt of any kind. They're just like, nope, I've always been confident. Nope, I just do these things because I'm good. Good for you. Great. Not all of us are that fucking lucky. So at least he talks about the fact that he's been through some struggles too. So it helps me, being the fucked up artisty person that I am, identify with him. He apparently survived a head-on car collision where he had severe brain damage and had to relearn how to function again, which would definitely suck. Then he started a business and the thing completely tanked and he went into massive debt, and he was severely depressed by that, as you probably would be. And so he had some pretty severe moments like that caused him to come around to creating this. And he gets into how those kind of things led him to that. I like that he does some storytelling in here, because as I've mentioned before, I think people learn best through metaphor and story. At least I know I do. So when you can see an analogy, or you can watch someone go through the steps told in a story form, I think it's much easier to retain the information and to understand the information, because that's just how our brains have, I think, evolved to learn. It's well written, it's easy to read, all that kind of stuff. It's very friendly, even when he goes through all the steps and tells you how to do each thing in each chapter, which is each one of the Savers letters. It doesn't get too dry, even though he's teaching you how to do these things. It still stays very conversational and friendly and easy, and he does have little moments here and there where he kind of talks about some personal things, and he also talks about how he has helped other people with this stuff. So there's a little bit of evidence-ish, interpretive evidence, I don't know, lowercase e evidence that some of this works. He's used it on himself, he's used it with plenty of other people, and I know lots of other people that are unrelated to this particular book genetically that also do morning routines that they swear by. Again, this is not necessarily scientific evidence, this is just anecdotal, personal experience stuff, which if we follow anything from making logical arguments, it's going to be not the best way to support one's case, but sometimes you got to at least check it out and see if it works for you. So I can tell you, for me, having a morning routine does make a big difference. I did talk about this before in another video about kind of why to even have a morning routine, because I had been kind of questioning, what is it that I'm actually getting out of this? I used to think it was about being productive, but I don't think that's really the case. I think that can help. I think sometimes you can transfer that motivation into doing things, but it's not always really the point of it. So if you're interested in having another discussion about kind of morning routines and stuff, check out a video that I already released, I assume, depending on when I release this video. One of my main criticisms about this book is the fact that he has this set routine that he offers for everybody, and there's no real major variations, or there's no alternate things that might accomplish something similar. Because I know that from my own experience, not everything in here is going to be working for everybody. It may not always work for me too, so because that's my own experience part. So what I would have liked is kind of like a more modular approach to building a morning routine, and also more detail psychologically and physiologically on what these different elements, these different puzzle pieces of a morning routine actually do for you. Like the psychological benefits, the physical benefits. He talks about it again more sort of anecdotally, but that would be fascinating to me. I would like to know here, psychologically, if you do this, it tends to make us feel this way, which then translates to this. I'd be like, okay, that's really cool. So I would have liked more of that, and I would have liked to said a modular approach to doing this book where you can swap out a couple different things. You go, okay, I don't like doing this, but I do like doing this, which has a similar effect, or perhaps different routines for different goals. That I think would be useful too. Say you want to accomplish certain things that day, or you want to feel a different thing. Maybe there's different things you want to do, and in particular order, to get yourself to that place. And that's not discussed in this book either. But those are things I think about. Who knows, maybe I'll work on something like that in the future. Not right now. I have plenty to do. But yeah, overall, good book. I enjoyed it. There were some helpful things, some things I took, and some things I used as a base for what I'm doing now for my morning routine, and then changed a bunch of stuff too, because of what I'm interested in and what works for me so far. Maybe I might do a video specifically more on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, and if that would be helpful for you or not. I'll even make the video if it's not helpful for you. How's that sound? Let me shake on it there, partner. This is me shaking, just putting my hand in the corner of the screen. That's how people shake. I'm not an alien. So yeah, if you're interested in The Miracle Morning, go ahead and check out the written review on the Life You Imagined website. I have affiliate links there to Amazon.com where you can buy the book as well. And if you do click the link, then I get a small percentage of that, which helps me out. So thank you very much if you choose to do that. Yeah. Well, that's all I have to say about that. Thanks again for watching. This is Life You Imagined. My name is Nico, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey, welcome back to Life You Imagined. My name is Nico, and today we're going to take a look at the book, The Miracle Morning. Why did I get very stern suddenly? It's a very heavy book to read emotionally. I have this fucking desire to constantly progress and be better and improve. And if I'm not doing that, then I feel shitty about myself. And that's the goal of the book. Feel shitty about the fact that you're not productive enough. All right, go ahead and buy it. As I said, several years I've been doing this, where I keep trying stuff and I keep falling off the proverbial bandwagon. I don't know why I'm on one of those. Apparently there was a coupon to get on the bandwagon, so you know me, thrifty as fuck.
Hey, you want to be a better person? You want to live a better life? Sweet! Make sure you hit subscribe on Life You Imagined YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit that fucking notification bell so you're always up to date with all the newest offerings from Life You Imagined. Don't forget to go ahead and hit like on the video and share with all your friends. Leave a comment with all your fucking useless information, because I'm never going to read it. Oh, and make sure you go over to lifeyouimagine.com and check out everything I have over there. Look at me, buy my stuff, do everything I want you to do, sales, marketing, promo. Buy my stuff, buy it. Look at me, pay attention to me and everything I do. I'm insecure.